Well, everybody lies, but these stars definitely crossed the line, and for that, they had to pay the price. From lying about their personal weight and losing their virginity, to faking anti-gay attacks and messing with the tragedy at the World Trade Center. Welcome to the most promising nominees in the Biggest Liar category, and find out who will get the Oscar for the biggest lies. Corey here, join me to catch these stars red-handed. Our first nominee is Jussie Smollett, and his story is crazily messed up. It started with Smollett claiming to be the victim of a heinous crime. The actor was said to have been left beaten, drenched in bleach, and with a rope tied around his neck. Get your gasps and sympathy out of the way, because this guy actually paid 2 men to assault him. The 2 men were brothers originally from Nigeria, and during their police interview, they stated that they were paid $3,500 to carry out the attack. And supposedly, it was even rehearsed. You probably can't help but wonder why on earth he did it. Get ready to find out the truth. Smollett was trying to raise his salary with the help of this story. The actor, who plays the openly gay character of Jamal Lyon on Empire, has received a lot of backlash to say the least. Smollett was arrested and released on $100,000 bail. Still, he continues to assert that he is telling the truth about this devastating ambush. It's clear this possible publicity stunt might have put the Empire actor out of work for good. The report states that although Fox had not responded to comment requests, the 5 of Smollett's scenes and his big musical number were cut from Empire. Once police charged Smollett with a felony for allegedly filing a false police report, Empire executives confirmed Smollett would indeed be written off Empire entirely by the end of the current season. With the case still under investigation, a lot of these things are still up in the air, including whether he will continue to have a career in Hollywood post-scandal. If it turns out that Smollett is proven to have staged the event, it is very possible that he will, at the very least, not be cast in anything for a while and could even spend some time in prison. To me, this whole story sounds like the worst salary negotiation ever in the history of salary negotiations. Trust me. Moving forward, and the next nominee is the actor and stand-up comedian Steve Rannazzisi. His story may be the most disappointing moment on the list. The lead actor, Steve Rannazzisi, lied about being in the World Trade Center during the 9/11 attacks. It's just, why? For over a decade, the comedian has claimed that on that fateful day in 2001, he was working for Merrill Lynch on the 54th floor of the South Tower, and that from his office, he felt the collision of the first plane with the North Tower. In a later interview, he told a detailed story of what happened from his point of view. I was there, and then the first tower got hit, and we were like all jostled all over the place. He then even claimed to have made his way down to the street, escaping his own building just moments before the second plane crashed into it. Pretty vivid account, right? Pretty damn vivid, which only makes it more insane that it didn't actually happen that way. Not even a little bit. Not only was Rannazzisi not in the World Trade Center that day, but there is no record that he ever worked for Merrill Lynch, and the company never even had an office in either building. So basically, the moment someone did any digging into his suspicious story, which took them 14 years to do because most people would assume no one is lying about this kind of thing, it all fell apart. And probably the only vaguely good, or at least not completely and utterly terrible news about this entire situation is that after being confronted with the inconsistencies in this story, Rannazzisi finally admitted the following. I was not at the Trade Center on that day. I don't know why I said this. This was inexcusable, and I am truly sorry. As he says himself, this is a pretty inexcusable lie. This is really messed up, but at the very least, he seems to know just how messed up it was. It was profoundly disrespectful to those that perished and those that lost loved ones. The stupidity and guilt I have felt for many years has not abated. It was an early taste of having a public persona, and I made a terrible mistake. All I can ask is for forgiveness. I will say though, at least he came clean about it. When it comes to honesty, better late than never. And now, the girl who played with our hearts, Britney Spears. Britney had portrayed herself as the wholesome girl next door, who was waiting until marriage to lose her virginity. Back then, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were the ultimate celebrity couple. While they were together, Spears still claimed that she was waiting until they were married to have sex. After they had already been broken up, the truth came out in 2002 during an interview with Timberlake, in which she admitted they'd been intimate plenty of times. Britney came clean a year later. Spears said, "It was 2 years into my relationship with Justin, and I thought he was the one, but I was wrong." She added, "I didn't think he was going to go on Barbara Walters and sell me out." It's disappointing that Timberlake chose to spill the beans about something so personal. I imagine that was incredibly hurtful for the "Oops, I Did It Again" singer. At the same time, It's also a bummer that Spears felt like she had to lie in the first place. The next nominee for the biggest liar has the heartbreaking story of how her weight loss surgery actually ruined her career. The co-host of The View, Star Jones, struggled with her weight for most of her life. She pushed away family, friends, and fans. Star later revealed that she was feeling awful about every pound she had gained, as it was always in the public eye. Jones had always shown her fans that she was comfortable with her weight, but the more she gained, the more that attitude changed. In 2003, she hit her highest weight of 307 pounds. The fans who had once sent Jones letters of praise for her being true to herself were now sending letters of concern about the co-host's rapid weight gain. Finally, she decided to undergo gastric bypass surgery. However, she kept the surgery a secret. Jones had a lot of fear that she would disappoint her fans if she came clean about the way she lost the weight. Those who loved her wanted her to admit that she'd gotten medical intervention for her weight struggles, but she couldn't. She said instead that it was portion control and Pilates because she felt ashamed. The View's audience had become uncomfortable with Jones's image since she claimed her miraculous weight loss was only portion control and Pilates based. And only last year, Jones finally spoke with Oprah and opened up about what the whole story was all about and how scared she really was.
I didn't have the courage to say, y'all, I ain't happy no more.
Really?
I'm scared.
If Jones had been honest from the start, things would have probably been different. The audience would have loved her. Her secret surgery ultimately cost Jones her job. Let's move on. Martha Stewart has been such a vital part of well-to-do homes and kitchens for decades that it seems so out of character for her to do something that would cause her to be arrested and jailed. However, in 2001, she became involved in an insider trading scandal that led Stewart being sentenced to 5 months in jail. How come? Well, that's because the lady lied to federal investigators regarding the sale of stocks. Still cannot believe it? She sold ImClone stocks right before the stock price dropped. Because of insider trading, Stewart saved herself money by knowing the product hadn't gotten FDA approval and would soon plummet in stocks. More than a dozen years after serving a prison sentence for lying to investigators about a stock sale, Martha Stewart has opened up about the horrifying experience, saying nothing good came of it. It was horrifying, and no one should have to go through that kind of indignity, really, except for murderers, and there are a few other categories. She added, "It's a very, very awful thing. I'm sure that this case is an example where if you do the crime, you have to pay the time." Anyhow, Stewart went on to stage a comeback following her prison time, resuming control over a successful multimedia company. Since then, she has published additional cookbooks and is now enjoying ongoing success with her rapper friend, Snoop Dogg, in an odd couple cooking show on VH1. Countless celebrities have been caught in lies surrounding drug use, including Kate Moss, Lindsay Lohan, but Paris Hilton is definitely the queen of getting caught. She's been busted so many times. Following a stint in jail, Paris Hilton appeared on Larry King Live, and when asked if she had ever done drugs before, the hotel heiress denied ever using drugs.
Have you ever been addicted to drugs?
No.
Taken drugs?
No.
Never taken drugs?
However, not long after, photos of the reality star smoking weed showed up online. To make matters worse, a year after the interview with Larry King, Hilton was arrested for cocaine possession. When she appeared in court, Paris reverted back to her deceitful ways, telling the judge that the purse where the cocaine was found was not hers. The same purse contained Hilton's driver's license, credit card, and cell phone. In 2008, the Bling Ring, a group of teens that had robbed a number of celebrities' homes, including Hilton's, was caught by law enforcement. The teens confessed to their crimes and disclosed what they had taken from each home. The items stolen from Paris's Beverly Hills mansion included jewelry, clothes, shoes, cash, and guess what? Yep, cocaine. Although, as you might have guessed, Paris denied having cocaine in her home. Being caught on drugs so many times must have taught her a lesson. But seems the star will go the same way until the cops literally catch her doing drugs, whilst at the same time holding drugs, sitting on drugs, and with dozens of drug bags around her. But nah, she'll probably deny it anyhow. Our last nominee is a hell of a surprise. Everyone knows how honest, decent, and moral Beyonce is. Though, you will now see why all that is in doubt after one suspicious incident. Since her days as a member of Destiny's Child, Beyonce has received songwriting credits on nearly every song she's ever recorded. The same went for her 2006 album, B-Day, especially when Beyonce told a reporter that she wrote most of the tracks, including Irreplaceable. Queen Bee seemed to take full credit for the song and in an interview saying that, "I'm sure people think I wrote it about Jay-Z or something, but the obvious person is not the person at all. Liar, 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 liar." As a few years later, Ne-Yo revealed that he actually wrote it and gave it to her because he thought it was better suited to a female singer. In an interview, Ne-Yo said, "I honestly wrote that song for myself. However, a man singing it comes across a little bit misogynistic, a little bit mean. His comments caused a scandal. Later, the diva's producer outed Beyoncé's songwriting credits by speaking in a very show business style about it. People from the outside looking in want to know whether or not she writes her own songs. She's on a level where things are handed to her. People want to be a part of what she's doing. She either wrote it or can put her name on it, because that's the boss she is." Whilst appreciating Beyoncé's talent, I must say that this is a very shitty way to get out of such a situation. And the Oscar for biggest lie goes to Black Panther? It's Jussie Smollett. Others' lies were pretty stupid as well, but this one is below receiving any understanding or sympathy. And who is your personal winner for the biggest lies? Share it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to OSA for more cool videos, and thanks for watching. Corey out.